Yo, 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 it's your boy Joe, man, tonight. And I'm screaming tonight, man, to talk about my thoughts on the first round of the NFL draft, man. And for right now, man, I just think that, the draft it was very surprising. I thought that, to start off, first of all, before I even start this live stream, I want to give a few shout outs real quick. My first shout out I want to give a shout out to my boy Yak, man. Uh, you know, and he was one of the first guys to call it, you know, to say that Travis Hunter was gonna go to Jacksonville. Now, I was one of the guys that didn't think that would happen, but it did, man. And I mean, I was shocked. So I'm gonna give him his props, but we're gonna talk more deep dive into that as the live screen, as we get into this live screen. But I'm gonna give a shout out to him, and I'm also gonna give a shout out to my boy Eddie Shad too, because he wasn't really, and we're gonna talk about it, about this Travis Hunter pick in Jacksonville, because it was a shocker to me. And I'm excited about the pick, but I do have some concerns as well with this Travis Hunter pick. So I'm gonna get right into it, man, because it's already late, man. And I know you guys got some stuff to do in the morning, man. But you guys bear with me tonight, man, because man, I really want to deep dive into these picks, and we're gonna talk about them, man. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. The ones that stayed up and stayed locked into the live stream, man. I want to thank all you guys, man. But we're gonna get right into it. So, the first pick, man. The first pick, Cam Ward. I think we all knew that Cam Ward was going to be the first pick off the board. Him, either a dual Carter. So it wasn't no surprise at the first pick. But then things started getting interesting in this draft, man. And in the second pick, man, I was shocked. I think the whole NFL world was shocked that Jacksonville moved up from 5 to 2 to go get Travis Hunter, man. I don't think no one expected that. I wasn't expecting it. Like I say, my boy Champ, yeah, he called it, and he just had a feeling that they was gonna get Travis Hunter. Me, I didn't think that Travis Hunter would come to Jacksonville, because in the past, high profile draft picks that we had a chance to get, we think would come to Jacksonville, we never really got those guys, because either, whatever it is, Jacksonville ain't always the city that some players want to play at, man. Let's just keep it real. So when Jacksonville selected Travis Hunter with the second pick, I was shocked. And as a Jag fan, I'm excited that we got this pick, but I do have my concerns, because when you look at the free agency, right? We went and signed the cornerback from the Cowboys. I can't. His name is not on my head right now, but we pick him up, and I just think that, if he's gonna play both sides of the ball, man, we're gonna have to put this guy on a snap count, man. And he's not gonna be able to play how he played in college. So I mean, if I'm Liam Cohen, I'm thinking this guy's gonna play majority, maybe on the defensive side of the ball, and we have packages set up for him to play on the offensive side of the ball. But it's all a mystery right now how he's gonna be used and how he's gonna be utilized. But I think, me personally, I think we should use him to solidify that defense, because that defense was bad last year. To have Travis Hunter on the other side of the defense ball, you should really solidify your secondary. You have a strong, solidified secondary with Travis Hunter at your corner, and then you bring him on the offensive side of the ball, and you line him up with Brian Thomas Jr., a young wide receiver that is a dog. So now you got two studs out there at wide receiver, both tall, both athletic, both guys that can go get the ball, jump ball situation. So I think that when you look at the Travis Hunter pick for the Jaguars, it's a good pick. And I also think that, he's going to actually help Trevor Lawrence. Now, the clock is on Trevor right now, man. The Trevor Lawrence clock is on right now. If you can't get it done with Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. at the wide out, you can't be the quarterback of the future for the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Because when you look at what they gave up to get Travis Hunter, man, they gave up a lot to get Travis Hunter. They gave up future picks. We swapped picks in, I think, in the second round, and so it's just like this team, bro. He gonna have to come and produce, man, because like I say again, we gave up a lot to get him. We did. So with that, man, I just hope that it works out. I'm excited, and I think that this team, man, we could do some good things with the Travis Hunter pick, man. So I'm excited about that. Let's move on to the third pick, man. When you look at the third pick, Dual Carter. You knew a Dual Carter wasn't going to fall far because before the draft, he was consensus number one pick for the longest. Either him or Cam Ward. We knew one of those guys was going to go first. But for him to slide to the New York Giants, I mean, you look at that defensive front now, man. You got Tibbs, you got Brian Burns. You got a Carter now. You got Dexter Lawrence. That front four gonna be nasty. I don't give a fuck. That front four will be nasty for the New York Giants, man. If goddamn the coach out there in New York, he on the clock too. But I think that defense next year in New York, man, that front four gonna be nasty, man. If they can develop those guys right, look out for New York Giants in that defense next year. They could easily have a top 10 defense next year. You know what I'm saying? What's up, man? Carolina Perez, what's up, man? What's up, man? So, thank you for tuning in to the live screen, man. So, yeah, man, that New York Giants defense front four, bro, is gonna be nasty. So let's move on to the fourth pick, Will Campbell with the Patriots. I thought this pick was a safe pick by the Patriots. We know what Brian Brable is. He's a hard-nosed guy. And when you look at it, man, this team had a lot of needs. They could have went running back. They could have went wide receiver. They could have went anywhere. But they went with the safe pick, getting an offensive player to help Drake May, to help him. And I think it's a good pick for a young quarterback because you either have to go protect your quarterback or you need to give him weapons. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to get him at that pick, I thought it was a safe pick. So we're not gonna really talk about that. But then we move on to the fifth pick, the Cleveland Browns, which they was able to, get some draft capital from us, from the Jaguars, and they was able to get a guy like Mason Graham. And this is another team that's gonna have a nasty front four. When you look at the Grizzlies did some work tonight. Oh, we got to talk about that then. So did the Grizzlies win, man? Let me know if the Grizzlies. I was watching the draft tonight, Curtis, man. So I don't know if the Grizzlies want it, what they want tonight or not. But the first two games they got their ass whooped. So if they want tonight, man, that's good. At least get them a series, man. But we'll talk about the NBA a little bit after we finish talking about this NFL draft. So when you look at Mason Graham, man, when they grabbed him from the Cleveland Browns, bro, you already got. Let's say the tables have turned tonight. Okay, I guess they did win. So that's a good look then. Let's just see, can they make it a series, though? That's going to be the question, though. But I ain't going to get sidetracked. We're going to talk about this NFL draft. That front four for the Cleveland Browns, you're going to have goddamn Myles Garrett. Now you got Mason Graham, another guy that's on that front to solidify that defense. The Cleveland Browns already had a solid defense. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like they was already bad off, but you add a guy like Mason Graham to your defense, man, that's a good pick, man. So I like what the Cleveland Browns did in the draft, man, getting that guy, and they was able to get more draft capital for tomorrow so they can really fill out this team. So I like what they did. Another team, man, low key, I like what Pete Carroll did, man, and what the Las Vegas Raiders with getting Ashton Jeanty. You get Ashton Jeanty and you look at what Pete Carroll got, man. He went and got Geno Smith in free agency. Now you go get a guy like Ashton Jeanty. A guy, if you look at, I think they're going to use this guy like Marshawn Lynch. Pete Carroll is an old school guy. He believes in the run game. And so you get a guy like Ashton Jeanty is a good pick. You know what I'm saying? And I think, Pete Carroll going to run the wheels off this guy, man. So, I like that pick at the number 6 spot. At the number 7 spot, we got the Mimbo. I won't mess his name up. Offensive lineman for the Jets. Just looking at that, I think that the Jets, it was an interesting pick because you look at all what they lost. They lost a lot, man, in free agency, man. This team is kind of like maybe sort of in a rebuild. We really don't know. You let Aaron Rodgers walk. You let Devontae Adams walk. And we thought this team last year was going to be a team, a playoff team. You went and go get an O-line to help solidify your O-line. Aaron Glenn, I think that, with this guy, well, being a first-year head coach, man, you don't want to make gambles. And you don't want to make picks that potentially get you fired. So I think with the Jets and Aaron Glenn with this job, he went and got the safe pick, a pick that can a building block piece for his team, and I can't fault that. Now, when you look at this with the eighth pick, McMillan, I think he got drafted. I got it right up here. McMillan, he went to the Carolina Panthers. I think that was a good pick. My only question with this McMillan guy, man, is what he said before the draft about studying and things like that. I think a lot of teams was turned off on him with that. So, the Carolina Panthers is a team that they need playmakers. They got another playmaker out there now. Bryce Young, you got another young wide receiver. You got the guy they picked from South Carolina last year. You get this guy, another receiver. So you're giving him weapons so that he can thrive, man. I hope this McMillan guy works out. I just know me as a GM, that would have turned me off of drafting him. But they said he's one of the top picks, wide receivers in the draft. So this could be. It's one of those picks we got to see. This guy could be a bust. All right, this guy could be one of the steals of the draft, man. He could have a Brian Thomas like year next year, man. His size, things like that. He does some great things at the wide receiver position. Moving at the number 9 position, Kevin Banks. This was a good pick. I think that a lot of people thought Shedeur was gonna go to the Saints at this pick. Again, another first-year head coach. Man, you cannot take risks and gambles as a first-year head coach, because if you draft a quarterback, and I think a lot of people thought him going to the Saints at this pick was a good pick, still a top 10 pick, but Kellen Moore's name would be tied to this guy. Kellen Moore's name would be tied to this guy if they would have drafted Shedeur Sanders at the number 9 pick for the Saints. And I think a lot of people, it was too much of a risk, man. You know what I'm saying? So you get Kevin Banks, an O-line guy, a foundational piece for a young coach, and you gotta take that, man, because if you would have drafted Shedeur at that 9 spot, man, if this guy, if he struggles on early, the questions about, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Coach Prime name coming up, it just would have been a lot. With this Shedeur Sanders name, it comes with a lot of baggage, dog. And I think that's what scared a lot of people, man. I hate to say it, and there's no hate. And I think a lot of people thinking it's hate, but it's not. And I said this, I've been saying this over a year ago, that Shedeur was not a top 10 or not a top 5 pick. And was I right? I was deemed right. I was deemed right, man. And I was told I was a hater and all this other shit. But I was right. I was right. At the end of the day, all you haters out here on YouTube, I was right. I was right. I'm going to stand on that. So we're going to move along, man, to the 10th pick. Going to the 10th pick, Chicago. They went and got Colston Loveland. I look at this pick as a safety net for Caleb Williams. Another guy, another first-year head coach in Ben Johnson. You gotta put pieces around your young quarterback, and this is another piece around Caleb Williams to make him better, to help develop him, and hope he can take the next step next year. I think it was a good pick at its value. This is a value pick. You got a guy. It's not a reach. It's just where it's at. With Colston Loveland, man. When you look at the 11th pick and Markel Williams, DN, man, for the 49ers, this is a team that's kind of retooling on the fly. When you look at all the pieces that they lost, it's just like, yeah, man, they had to get what they can get, great quality players, and that's the only way you're gonna be able to do it is in the draft. And you get a guy like this, Markel Williams, you bring him on to be an impact player on your team this year. This is not a piece that you can sit on the bench. This guy's gonna be asked to contribute with everything they've lost in free agency. what Kyle Shanahan he got to do. He got to keep this team competing in the NFC West. And also too, you got to look at what they got over there with the Rams. And we're gonna talk about the Rams here. What they got on that front row with Brayton Fisk and Jared Verse, man. So they got to keep up with the competition in the division. And sometimes, man, when you draft, you have to draft within the division. What other teams are doing in the division. So you may have to keep up with them. If they getting, they getting solidified on their front four, they thinking the same way as well. We got to figure out something. So I look at that pick with the 49ers, man, the defensive end spot. That's a pick that they needed with everything that they lost in free agency over the last 2 years. Because you got to think, too, they lost Armstead last year to the Jaguars. So they was getting thin at that position. So they had to find somebody to replace. So I think that was a great value pick as well for those guys. At the 12th spot, you got Tyler Booker. I mean, this is typical for the Cowboys, man. They don't never pick really flashy. And if you look over the course of the last couple of drafts, they went O-line, D-line. So, I mean, this is just the Cowboys. This is what they do. And I'm not going to spend much time on them guys. The 13th pick in Miami, they went and got Kenneth Grant. I think they had to go get a guy in the trenches because if you look at the Diamond Dolphin team last year, man, they was horrible in run defense. I just remember watching the Jacksonville Jaguar game week 1 and how we just torched them, man. And then you look at the next week when they played against the Bills, I believe, and they got just was, they got the front, their run defense was bad. I mean, it was bad last year. So they had to solidify that, and I think that was a good pick at the number 16 spot, man. At the number 13 spot. And then you look at the 14th pick with the Colts, man. You got Tyler Warren, man. And I think that this pick, man, it's whoever they're gonna have at quarterback, bro. I mean, we look at what they went, they got Anthony Richardson, and then they went and got Matt Jones. So it's gonna be somewhat of a quarterback battle going to training camp. So I just think that whoever they pick the quarterback, this guy Tyler Warner is gonna be a key piece for him, man. Because I don't know if this guy Rich is gonna be starting this year, man. You bring in a guy like Daniel Jones, who was a former first-round pick. You bring him on your roster. He's looking to try to start too. So we're gonna see how training camp go for these guys. A guy that slid in the draft, but everybody had high hopes on was Jalen Walker. He at the 15th spot. He's going to the Atlanta Falcons, another team that we're gonna talk about later too. That Raheem Morris, he got to get this defense right. So, and you look at what they did in this draft, dog. They went all defense. They went all in on defense. And if you look at it, defense win championships. So, the Jalen Walker pick, with all the cap issues that they're having too, again, another team like the 49ers, they got to get better through the draft. You can't go out and get guys in the free agency market. So you got to get quality players in the draft. And these guys are going to be asked again to be key impact players this next season, man. So, I thought it was a good pick as well at the 15 spot. When you look at the 16 spot, Arizona drafted defensive tackle Walter Nolan. I really don't know a whole lot about this guy, but I just think is for what they got, I guess they got what they wanted. Arizona, man, they one of those teams. They had a pretty solid season last year. They played hard. But I don't know. I guess it's a need. They need it, at the D tackle spot. So I don't want to spend too much time on that pick. And you look at the 17th pick, Shamar Stewart, the end. I thought this was a logical pick for the Bengals based on the issues they're having with trade and the contract disputes and things like that. This is more leverage for the front office. That, hey, we've drafted somebody to replace you. So now either Trey going to have to come to the table or maybe he go and he find another deal somewhere with another team. But I think they just gave the Bengals some more leverage. And everybody know the Bengals is a cheap team. They don't like to pay people, man. That's always been the narrative about this team. When you look at the 18th spot, it was a safe pick with Gray Zabel. I hope I'm announcing the name like Gray Zabel, North Dakota State, going to the Seattle Seahawks. They got the guy over there, and it was the Minnesota quarterback. They got their old quarterback, and so I guess it's another piece for him. to help him on the O line, man. But I'm not gonna put too much stock in this pick. I just think it was a safe pick as well, man. And anytime, and this is one thing I would say about organizations, man, that draft O linemen and they draft D linemen in the first pick. Because when you look at those picks, they're safe picks, but also too, if it don't pan out with these guys, you can always move these guys. These guys can be guys that, okay, it didn't work with you at guard or whatever. We're gonna try you at center tackle. We can still find some value in you. You know, if it's not working at the current position with, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they can get you to change. When you look at that's when I look at this Seattle pick. When you talk about the Tampa Bay Bucks in the 19th pick in Edmund, I hope I'm saying his name right, Mbuka. I thought this was a good quality pick at this spot because you got an Ohio State wide receiver. We know what Ohio State wide receivers do in the draft and how they are. They're pretty solid, you know, so as far as breaking out wide receivers. So pairing him with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, man, you got a good wide receiver room. This guy can really develop. And I don't think he make a real big impact next year, but I can see in the future once, you know, say Mike Evans, when he do decide to retire, this can be a guy, that can come right in his spot and he maybe can solidify could be the number one wide receiver at some point with the Tampa Bay Bucks, barring if his career go the way we think it'll go. You know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, he'd be a solid Pro Bowl player. You know, if you're getting drafted in the first round, there's high expectations on you to be well. So at the 20th spot is Jahdae Barton at Denver. Good pick, solid pick. This is a guy that you can pair with Patrick Surtain, or maybe you put him in the slot. Great addition to your secondary. And again, man, I think it was a good, solid, solidified pick. And it's crazy though, man. Before I go any further, there was nothing but 2 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, man. And for all the hype, we knew that this draft was a weak quarterback class, man. And you know, it showed, man, that, you know, none of these GMs really believed in really none of these quarterbacks, man. Outside of Cam Ward, I think it was a mystery. And even Cam Ward at some point is a mystery, but that's another story for another day, man. We're going to move right along because I know, man, some of you guys, y'all trying to lay it down, got to go to work in the morning, but hey, man, I love sports, man. I could talk about this shit all day. So let's talk about the 21st pick in Derek Harmon, man. I thought a lot of people thought Shedeur was going to go at this spot. Even myself, I was like, you know, logically, this is the pick where, you know, hey, man, maybe, you know, Mike Tomlin take a chance on this guy. And, you know, he's going to a good organization. This would be a good place for Shedeur Sanders to go. But they went defensive tackle. Steelers, man, they've known for developing defensive players. This team is basically founded, and we recognize this team for their defense, you know, the Steel Curtain. And I don't know, man. I mean, I got some Pittsburgh fans, they're not really feeling the pick. But I mean, you gotta look at, again, man, like I say, man, Shedeur Sanders' name come with a lot of baggage. A lot of baggage, and I don't think a lot of teams, man, when you just look at it, they just don't want to deal with that, man. Not him being a first-round pick, but if you draft Deion anyway, they're going to come some baggage even if you get drafted in the second round. But I just think that they thought that he wasn't worthy for a first-round pick, man. What comes with that? I hate to say it, and I'm going to keep iterating that throughout the course of this live stream. But like I say, man, you know, I thought this way he would go at. But, you know, Derek Harmon, he's a Steeler now. I think it's a good piece. You put him with TJ Watt on the line. You got you got some pieces there on that defense, and I think that he can come on and be an early impact early on to help this team win games, man. Derek Harmon. So I want to say, Steelers fans, man, and maybe not be the pick you wanted, but man, this guy, he might be a guy that could be a game changer for you guys moving forward. So we're gonna talk about the 22nd pick. The 22nd pick is Omarion Hampton, man. Good running back out of North Carolina, and you pair him with 22nd with the Chargers. They had a running back in J.K. Dobbins. This guy can't stay on the field, man. He was like that with the Broncos. I mean, not with the Broncos. I'm saying with the Ravens, and then he come with the Chargers. Got hurt, so you need another running back. So now you got a two-headed monster in J.K. Dobbins, and you got this guy Hampton. I think it's a nice piece to help out Justin Herbert in that offense. And we know what Harbaugh like to do. His style of offense. So I just think that bringing him to the Chargers, this is gonna be good. And J.K. Dobbins can split the load and he can stay on the field. And if you can have two guys that a two-headed monster backfield, we've seen what it done with certain teams. Because let's be real, a lot of teams run two running back system. So with this two running back system with him and J.K. Dobbins, this could be a good thing for the Chargers. Let's break down the 23rd pick. Matt Golden slid. A lot of people had him being in the upper, maybe the top 15, top 10 in the draft. And he went to the Green Bay Packers, a team that can use another wideout. You got Christian Watson, but now you bring on Matthew Golden, another guy that can help out him. And then you got Josh Jacobs in the backfield. I like what Matt LaFleur, what he does. His offense, he's very creative. So I think he's going to have some good things to do with Matthew Golden. Again, hopefully injuries, he can beat that injury bug going to Green Bay. But I thought it was a solid pick at that point, at that point in the draft. Moving on to the 24th pick, which was Donovan Jackson. You just knew they would go O-line. With J.J. McCarthy got hurt, and he didn't play not a snap this season. I think, their coach wanted to, Kevin McConnell in the front office, say we need to solidify that O-line. You seen what they did mid-season. They went and got Cam Robinson from Jacksonville to help out on the O-line because they was having O-line issues early on. Now you go draft a guy, and I don't know if they re-signed Cam Robinson. Vikings fans get in the comments if they did re-sign him. I think they did. So now you got two guys like Cam Robinson, and you got a guy like Donovan Jackson to help pet J.J. McCarthy. And there's just hope that this guy could develop and this team could take that next step. They did make it to the playoffs last year. Let's see if he can get them a little bit further in the playoffs with the addition of Donovan Jackson. Now, the surprise of the night for me, the second surprise of the night for me was Jackson Dart going to New York. Because when they traded back up, I was like, for sure, man, they finna go draft Shedeur. I was on the phone with my homeboy, and we was FaceTiming, and I was like, dog, they about to go get Shedeur, dog. We stopped everything we was doing because we wanted to hear Shedeur Sanders' name get called at the 25th pick. And he didn't get drafted. I was like, wow, they went Jackson Dart. And they had their reasons for Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart is a little bit more mobile than Shedeur. He set a bunch of records at, I want to say, Ole Miss, parts passing. And it's an interesting combination in that quarterback room in New York. You got Russell Wilson, famous Jameis, and now Jackson Dart. Crazy combination in that quarterback room. I think that Brian Daboll is going to make all these guys compete. If it was me, my job is on the line right now. So I need to put the best product out there. So I'm going to bring a rookie quarterback in. He's pretty hot. First round draft pick. That should put pressure on Winston and Russell Wilson. They're going to have to bring their A game. So I was just shocked that they didn't trade to get Shedeur with all the reports about him doing another workout for the Giants. All these speculations was that when they traded back up, it looked like he was going to be a New York Giant, and it would have been a perfect situation. He's in a big market. He can get marketed. It just was a perfect situation. But again, they passed on him. And again, I'm going to say this again too. With these coaches, man, when you have quarterbacks, when you draft high-profile players, your name get attached to them when the shit don't work. And you have to think about that with that. And I hate to say it because a lot of people keep saying this hate on this Shedeur shit. This shit is not hate, man. People trying to say their jobs. This is business, man. The football business. This is the business side of things that some and most casual fans don't understand. It's the business side of this thing, man. So I think when you come to the business of football, that's where it hurts Shedeur Sanders, man. So I'm gonna move along, man. With the 26th pick, James Pierce, the Atlanta Falcons, man. they made it a point to go defense this drive. You know, this is another piece that's needed. Again, they need all the help they can get, man. But this James Pierce guy, I actually had this guy, one of the guys coming to Jacksonville. When I was going to do a video many months back, and I had him as one of those guys that could possibly Jacksonville Jaguars draft when we was talking about getting in the first round. But James Pierce, man, that D line now with the Atlanta Falcons, now you got 2 rookies. You got some more other pieces around that. Can you develop these guys? That's gonna be the key, is development with these two young D linemen. Can Raheem Morris do it? I have all the faith in the world. Raheem Morris was a great coach at the defense side. I know he got a new defensive coordinator, but I guarantee you Raheem Morris gonna have a lot to say, and he's gonna put his imprint on this defense and ensure, because his job is on the line, man. You know, we know black coaches, they have a short string. So, yo, at the 27th spot, the Ravens. Now, I would say when the draft was going on, once the Steelers passed on him, I was like, you know what? Hey, say maybe the Rams, say maybe I think it was the Rams at that time. I think the Rams, I think the Ravens, and then I said the Lions. Maybe one of those guys with drafts should do it, because you got to think with those 3 quarterbacks, you know, we know all those 3 teams got solidified quarterbacks. But I felt like with those teams that it was a great developmental opportunity, because he could sit behind good quarterback play. If he would have got drafted by the Rams, you could sit behind Matthew Stafford. If you would have got drafted by the Lions, you could sit behind Jared Goff. Quarterback that went to the Super Bowl, went to NFC title game, so you can learn a lot from these quarterbacks. But it didn't happen with the Ravens. I'm pretty sure he has a big admiration for Lamar Jackson. So it felt like one of those teams it could have went, but every last one of them went defense outside. All of them went defense. And again, man, people, it's just the business. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it again, man. When you look at Shedeur Sanders, his skill set, it does not scream first round talent. That are facts. And that's why a lot of people are passing on him. It's not first round talent. What you see in college, you get ooh and ah by. But when you start looking at how the game is played in the NFL, Shedeur Sanders has a lot of weaknesses that he needs to develop and get better at. Yes, he has a good deep ball. Yes, he has patience in the pockets. He has a lot of great things. He has good vision. He can see the whole field. He's great. But when it comes to certain things like holding the ball and the body language of a quarterback, when some of the things he said, like throwing his teammates on the bus, the O-line thing he did, people frown upon that type of stuff, man. And it's not no hate and it's no racial thing. It's a team thing. And again, the business side of football. I'm gonna keep hammering at home on this live stream tonight, that you guys gotta understand and learn. It's the business side of football. When we're moving on to the 28th pick, when they got Tyreek Williams, defensive tackle. And I think when you look at this pick for the Lions, man, you look at a guy like Aiden Hudson, who got hurt, and he may not return at the start of the season. You need help on the D-line, and I think that's what this pick was for, to help the D-line, and hopefully, when Aiden Hudson come back some point in the season, this upcoming season, I mean, you got some motion going on that front, folks. So, and again, that's another team that they could use a lot more help on defense. I think on the offensive side of the ball, they're pretty solidified. They got a lot of weapons over there on the offensive side of the ball, but you can never have enough good playmakers on that defense side of the ball, and especially on the D line of the ball. A good rotation of defensive linemen is never enough. Let's break down this 29th pick with Josh Connolly Jr. Now, with this pick, I was a little bit, questioned about this pick, because when you think about it, you just went and traded for Lerman Thompson, and you gave up a lot to get Lerman Thompson. But you go draft for O-line in the first round. I mean, do you have one playing left tackle? Do you have one playing right tackle? You got, two. Do they have that discussion? Or do this guy even start? at tackle position. I don't know. Maybe you got this guy as a nice depth piece, but I didn't understand it because what you gave up to get Lerman Tonsil, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, again, it could be, you know, like I say, he could have to. I mean, maybe they start both. I lean on the side that the Redskins will start both of these guys with a young quarterback like Jaden Daniels. And it's just something that you need as a quarterback, man. You got to have good O-line play. And you know, they addressed it in the draft, man. When you look at the 30th pick, you got Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky. Again, a guy like Sean McDermott, you know, a defensive guy. So I wouldn't expect nothing less, you know. 31st pick, Jahel Campbell. Looked like they traded picks with the let's see who they traded picks with. I didn't get that because I was setting up for the live screen, and I didn't get a chance to see the last two picks. So we're gonna do it here, and it looked like they traded. Yeah, they traded picks, and I think this is a nice piece for the for Kansas City. You know, to help solidify the defense. You lost some people on the defense side of the ball, and this is a piece that you're gonna need again. Like I say, you know, Andy Reid and the staff. I think they're gonna make this guy contribute on early, and they're pretty good at drafting in the draft. Kansas City, we seen what they did with able to do with Xavier Worthy. So I have no doubt in my mind that Steve Spagnuolo is going to get the best out of this guy, Jahel Campbell. I'm sorry, not the Eagles. I'm sorry, I said the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles get the best. I said the Chiefs. I'm sorry, the Chiefs. It wasn't the Chiefs. It was the Eagles. But again, they lost a lot too on the front line. You know, with a lot of those guys getting big contracts after the Super Bowl, and that was to be expected because a lot of these guys, once they win the Super Bowl, teams are going to reach when they see that performance what they had in the Super Bowl, and they're going to sign them to a big contract. So, for Jahel Campbell to get picked up by the Eagles, I think it's a good piece to replace what you lost in free agency. So that's good. And the last pick I want to talk about is this Josh Simmons pick from Ohio State. Now they needed to replace they lost a lot of guys on the O-line, the Chiefs. So this was a good pick for these guys to help solidify that O-line and to help Pat Mahomes, man. So I thought, overall, when you look at this first round draft class, I think all the teams for the most part this year, they drafted well. Like there was really no big reaches. Like I say, the biggest reach or biggest move that I think to sum up this draft with the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they stole the show of the first round, moving up to get Travis Hunter, because I don't think nobody expected him to go to Jacksonville, being that Jacksonville is so horribly bad at draft picks, so horribly bad at trading players. We just do the worst things. And for them to be able to say they believe in Travis Hunter and go get him at the number 2 spot for a Jag fan, bro, I'm excited. So I got the Jacksonville Jaguars as one of my teams winning as one of my winners for day one. My second team that I got as winners for day one, I got the New York Giants. What they was able to do, they was able to get the D-line, the best D-line, the defensive end in the draft was Jalen Carter. And then you went and got Jackson Dart at quarterback for your second pick. You trade up, get back. So you accomplished everything you needed in this draft. You wanted to get another quarterback, and you got defensive help. And also too, why I say it's still, because now you got to look at that. Like I say again, man, that front four gonna be nasty for the New York Giants, man. If goddamn Dabo can get this team, that offense going, and that defense can be somewhat respectable and dominate, man, this team could be easily a playoff team next year, man. The New York Giants, and surprise a lot of people. My bad. So I say that to say they're one of my winners. My other winner of the night is the Cleveland Browns. What they was able to do, trading back getting draft capital from Jacksonville and able to still get Mason Graham, which was crazy because a lot of draft people and execs had him going to Jacksonville. He was supposed to be in Jacksonville because I thought that's what we was going to get. I said we're going to either get Mason Graham or we're going to get an O-line. But for them to be able to get Mason Graham and be able to steal draft capital, I do think that is a steal, and not a steal, but I think they are winners of the draft. The next team that I think is winners of the draft is the Las Vegas Raiders, because I think when you look at just Pete Carroll, his philosophy, he got a guy that fits his philosophy. So I think that Ashton Jennings going to Las Vegas was a win for the Las Vegas Raiders, and they're one of my teams as winners in this draft. Another team that's winners in this draft is the Atlanta Falcons. A team that did not have a lot of cap space. They was able to get two solid defensive guys, and just they could be able to build on that defense. So I look at what they did in the draft, and I think they were winners as well. And then I look at some other winners, and they're not really necessarily winners as far as NFL, but just winners in life. The University of Georgia. I mean, you guys had how many people drafted in the first round? Let's count. God, University of Georgia had 1, 2, 3. They had 3 players drafted in the first round. I thought they had more than that. Maybe I might be overlooking something. It might be going too fast. I thought they had more than 3 players drafted in the first round, Georgia. But that still is the highest amount of players, though, drafted, I want to say, in the first round. But the state of Georgia, man, they had some that defense, man, they had, man. So they went and got some ball. They went and got some dogs out there, man. So salute to Georgia, man, the state of Georgia. Also, man, I want to also salute to the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Y'all finally did something fucking right, man. And I know I got y'all as one of my winners, but I gotta do extra shout to the Jaguars, man, because they went and got one of the best players in the draft, and that's just something that I'm excited about. Something that, like I said again, that we've never done before, and we was able to get him because I damn sure thought Coach Prime or somebody was gonna block that. Like, nah, you can't come to Jacksonville. They just a horrible franchise. But that's that. But I think overall, when you look at the first round of the draft, everybody drafted well. There wasn't really no real major gambles and risks. So you didn't sit back and just be like, why did they draft this guy? Yada yada yada. But when you look at going into the second round, I think going into the second round, let's see. I want to just talk about Shedeur Sanders a little bit, man, because I tried to tell people, man, that Shedeur Sanders was not no damn first round pick, and y'all called me a hater. So I'm gonna keep saying that shit because y'all really said that that y'all thought that Shedeur Sanders was gonna go in the goddamn first round. I tried to tell y'all, man, that shit wasn't happening. So I need everybody on YouTube that said I was a hater, and I'm a white man lover and all that other crap. I need y'all to apologize to me because I was right. I was right. When you look at the second round, Cleveland has the first pick. I think Shedeur Sanders might be the first pick in the second round. Cleveland Browns do need a quarterback. I don't think Deshaun Watson is the same player. He's talking about everybody doubting him and all that. He gonna prove everybody wrong. But man, I don't see it happening with Deshaun Watson. I think it's a watch. I think he's now at the stage of his career that he is a backup quarterback. Point blank simple. So in Cleveland, I think that they will draft Shedeur Sanders first. If they don't draft him, I think the next pick who probably would draft him is the Raiders. Maybe the Raiders at the 5th spot, or maybe the Saints at the 10th spot. But in the first round in the first 10 picks of the second round, I I don't see him going nowhere but Cleveland because they got 2 picks in the second round. So I think that's probably why they traded back too, because you can get a player, and I think they're going to get Shedeur with that first pick in the second round, so they can still go get the player that they need. That's my analysis on Shedeur Sanders, man. I want to see what Jalen Milroe go at in the draft too, man. He's still on the board. Still a lot of other quarterbacks on the board right now. They got Shedeur Sanders right now is the second best available player outside of Will Johnson from Michigan. So again, we have to see on tomorrow where Shedeur Sanders land, but I don't see him sliding past the 10th pick in the second round of the draft, Shedeur Sanders. So that's my little wrap on the NFL draft in a nutshell, as far as giving my breakdown on all these picks. I had some guys in the comment section talking about the game tonight. My boy Curtis Knight. Curtis Knight said he wanted to talk a little NBA. I hope you get back on, Curtis Knight, because I can talk NBA with you, man. So he told me the Grizzlies won tonight. I didn't watch no NBA basketball tonight because I was so locked in on the draft, because I wanted to give you guys a strong analysis on every pick that I talk about, and what my honest thoughts on these picks. And when you look at the game right now, the Grizzlies are losing right now. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Maybe they was winning at one point, but right now what I'm seeing is the Grizzlies are losing. And right now the score is 111. Well, at least one of my things. Yep, it's 111 to 108 right now. Oklahoma City's up right now. That series is going to be a sweep. And the reason why I think that series is going to be a sweep, because Oklahoma City is on a mission this year. Because everybody in the NBA, all the media analysts, everybody has counted OKC out of not winning. Everybody just think it's going to be a foregone conclusion in the Western Conference. It's going to be the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. And right now, I don't think Golden State Warriors is going to make it. We don't know the status of Jimmy Butler, whether he's going to play tomorrow night. He fell on his ass real hard. So it's going to be interesting to see, if Jimmy Butler can play, and if he's going to be at full script, 80, 90%, we got to figure that out. Because if Jimmy Butler don't play, this team is going home in the first round. The Golden State Warriors. They're going home. Man. I don't see a way around it, man. Steve Kerr was playing motherfuckers deep into his bench on Tuesday, Tuesday night. Playing deep into his bench. So again, this series, the Golden State series, is gonna all be tied down to the health of Jimmy Butler, and can some of these players stay healthy? Because Steph cannot carry the team like that no more. He's a great talent. He can do a lot, but he need a little bit of help. Not a lot, but just a little bit of help to get them boys over, because he's still that great of a player. He just need a little bit of help. So right now it's 19.2 seconds left in the fourth quarter. OKC is up 113 to 108. And like I say, man, I think Memphis Grizzlies getting wrapped. It's gonna get swept. I think it's no gentleman sweep. I think it's a full blown on sweep. You know what I'm saying? Like Memphis was up, and I can see Memphis was up. They looked like they was up big in the first half. The first quarter, they put up 40 points in the first quarter. They outscored goddamn OKC in the first half, but then when you look at it, OKC weathered the storm and outscored them in the third and fourth quarter. And I think that third quarter is what's going to hurt the Memphis Grizzlies. They had a bad third quarter. They only scored 18 points in the third quarter. And then when you look at the fourth quarter, the fourth quarter is going to be the quarter they're going to have to worry about, which is the quarter you're supposed to play your best at. In the fourth quarter, you're supposed to elevate and take it up to another level. And again, this is why I say you need some old heads on that team. Because you look at a team like, and I'm going to compare this to the New York Knicks, because I read an article about how guys like, not New York, I'm sorry. The Detroit Pistons, I'm sorry. Detroit Pistons, they was talking about it. And I'm going to compare them to the Detroit Pistons because they're a young team. But they had 3 old vets on that team that showed these guys how to be a professional, you know what I'm saying, how to be a player in the NFL. No, I'm sorry, in the NBA. In the NBA, I'm tripping. I'm still in the NBA draft. I mean NFL draft. In the NBA, and you seeing how it's paying dividends for this young Detroit Pistons team. And when you look at Memphis Grizzlies, they don't have no players on their team over the age of 30. And that's real telling because you need somebody, some old heads on those teams. You look at the great teams that won, they always have some old heads on them. Them old heads are the ones that kind of keep the bench together. They they give guidance to the guys that's in the starting lineup, you just help them out just on the everyday, just being an NBA player, dog. You gotta have some old heads in there. Now I was told that Marcus Smart was supposed to be that OG guy to help, Ja, because he's a little edgy. Ja's edgy, but it ain't working. So, I mean, you got to look at this thing and just say, Memphis, you guys going to have to figure something out and, get these guys to buy in and really, be a team. And right now, the final score of the game, Oklahoma City Thunder, 114-108. And this is gonna be a sweep, man. I really think it's gonna be a sweep. I don't think this series gonna go 5 games. I think it ends in 4. So another team, like I said, that it was probably critical for them that they won was freaking. Let me see the scores. Hold up. It's the what's the name playing right now too. Let me open it up real quick. That game over with. Okay, the Clippers and the Nuggets. And right now, it looks like the Nuggets finna go down. I think they already no, the series tied. They finna go down 2-1. And so now again, they did their job in LA. The Nuggets did. They split. Now, the Clippers don't want the first game. So they did their job. So they can lose game 4 and still be in this thing because they got to go back to LA. But I don't know, man. This Nuggets team, the last part of the season, they kind of dwindled down. Got Mike Malone got fired. You got guys on there that just, I don't know, man. A lot of chemistry issues right now with the Nuggets. But they're gonna have to get it done game 4, man. If they don't get it done in game 4, and they go down 3-1 going into the LA, they're not going to win. They're not going to win that series, man. So I think the Clippers are doing what they're supposed to do. They're taking care of business tonight. And if the Denver Nuggets can win on the Clippers home court, they'll be taking care of business too and go back to Denver 2-2, tied 2 up. The Knicks, they played tonight. They won 118-116. Right now, they're up 2-1. One thing about the goddamn Knicks that I don't like about the Knicks, they seem like they play down to their competition, man. And I'm like, you guys be putting y'all foot on the Detroit Pistons neck. This is a team that just should be happy to make it to the damn playoffs. Let's be real. I mean, they're a 6 seed, and JB Bickerstaff, did his thing with this team. He turned it around. But the Knicks, with the talent they got over there, Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, all these guys, man, and this series shouldn't even be close. And to be honest with you, I thought this was going to be a blowout, like how Orlando got beat game 1. I thought it would be like this the whole series. But Detroit Pistons hanging in there. Cade Cunningham and crew, Tim Hardaway, and all those boys, they doing their thing over there. So we'll see how they come out in game 4 and see if they can get the split. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, you got to win on your home court, man. You got to win on your home court. If you can't win on your home court, man, then it's gonna be, like I say, if they don't win on I think they play again Friday night too, or either Saturday. It's gonna be a wrap. They're not gonna win that series. Orlando Magic getting swept. I'm just gonna say that right now. They're getting swept. They nothing. It's nothing happening. And a guy like KCP, who is a guy that he rocked Church's money for Orlando. I mean, this guy did not show up. He was just out there getting cardio the other night. And so I don't see Orlando Magic's really doing nothing, man. So I think they get swept. And yeah. What's other games on? Let me see what's up. Oh yeah, Golden. Oh, I already talked about Golden State. Another team that's interesting too in the Eastern Conference, and then I'm gonna get up out of here after I talk about this. 'Cause I'm starting to get sleepy. The goddamn Milwaukee Bucks. Right now, the Milwaukee Bucks is up. I think they up 2-0 right now. Let me check my thing real quick. Yep. The Bucks are up. Not the Bucks, but the Pacers are up 2-0. Now, they took care of business. They won both games in their home court. I kudos them for that. The Bucks are in a must-win situation tomorrow. They got to win game. They got to win game 3. I don't see no way out this scenario if they don't win game 3. And with Doc Rivers being your coach, I just think that this guy, he ain't it. And if he don't get it done this year with this team, with the talented, I don't want to see Doc Rivers on no another fucking sideline no more. Just go back to sports calling games and shit like that. Because if you can't get it done with the roster you got right now, Doc Rivers, bro, hang it up with your coaching shit, bro. So they got to take care of business tomorrow night, and hopefully they do. Lakers series gonna be a real tough series. Both of these teams are good, and I think that's gonna come down. I think that's gonna be. I think, Lakers can win in 5. I know that's the whole running joke, Lakers in 5, but realistically, I think they win in 6 games. Lakers in 6. So I don't think Ant-Man gonna let that happen because he gonna release that dog in you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man. So, whew, that's a lot of talking tonight, man. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. A little bit of people that did tune in and show your boy some love, man. It's all love, bro. Tune into the podcast later next week. Got something lined up for y'all. I got a fellow content creator that's we're gonna join, and we're gonna chop sports, man. We're gonna chop NFL draft. We're gonna probably talk about the winners and losers of the draft as an entirety, for the day, not just day one, but for the whole draft. We probably most likely gonna talk about. And I want you guys to tune into that as well when we do drop that content, man. With all that being said, man, it's your boy Joe, one half of the Co-Pilots podcast, man. Be lookout on future live streams, man, and check me out on all my other social media platforms. I'm streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn. I mean, I'm on a lot of platforms, man. So if you want that good raw sports content, man, fuck with your boy, man. It's your boy Joe, and I'm out. Peace.